What up, bye babes? I'm back at it with another Bisexual Men Speak video. In one of my earlier videos, I talked about, why bisexual men don't disclose. And I've also written extensively about this. I will put it down below in the description box. So for this video, I kind of wanted to reverse it a little bit. I wanted to talk about ways that a person is potentially safe to open up to about your bisexual identity. So in my experience, I've noticed that people who are really open-minded and who are not super attached to gender or gender roles oftentimes are easier to talk about, things like bisexuality. People who seek out the nuance in situations and in life, really, who don't just see things in like black or white. And also people who understand that as a society, as people living in this society, we've all been conditioned in various ways to look at different groups or look at different people a certain kind of way. And especially when you talk about bisexual people, we've all been conditioned for a very long time to see bisexuality as not a true legitimate identity, and for bisexuality in men specifically to be something that's dubious and devious, and they're gonna cheat on you and all of that other stuff. And similarly with bisexuality in women, similar things of being duplicitous and you can't trust them, and they're the seductress that's going to kill you, or the succubus that's gonna steal your life force. So meeting people who are really open-minded and really critical and really thoughtful too, you know what I mean? And these people, like when you're around them, you just kind of feel like a lightness in your spirit. You feel like, wow, I like hanging out with this person. I like how they think. I like how their mind works. And those people tend not to be judgmental, not of themselves and not of others. But at the same time, just because a person is all of these things, they may in fact be someone who is not safe to open up to and not safe to disclose your bisexual identity, and who very well may harbor some biphobic attitudes and ideals, because like I said, this is conditioning. This is in our media. This is in our culture for a lot of us. So it's kind of like a give and take, and I am one of the last people that you will ever hear say, oh yeah, you should definitely come out. You should definitely tell people that you're bisexual, people that you're close with or trying to get close with. I do not tell people that. I do not believe that. I think that being bisexual is a beautiful thing, but the world is really stacked up against us. And I'm talking about, larger society, and also specifically within LGBT communities, many of them, which is why I'm making this video of ways to spot people who maybe they would be supportive or maybe they would be safe. And the opposite of what I just said is also true. People who are hell-bent on gender roles, people who are hell-bent on gay or straight, right or wrong, night or day, blah blah, people who are very sort of rigid in the way that they see the world, people who are judgmental. These are people who you definitely do not want to share your bisexual identity with. What I hear is that a lot of bi women, when they're around women who brag about being gold star lesbians or who say that dick is disgusting, this is what I'm hearing from bisexual women. And people who make snide comments about bisexuality and who say that, oh yeah, bisexuals have it easier. These are just kind of people that you want to just be very careful of and be very wary of, and who you don't necessarily want to open up or share an aspect of your identity or your experience with. And this is all about safety. It's all about keeping yourself safe. And the world sort of tries to demand that bisexuals reveal yourself, show us who you are, tell us who you're attracted to, tell us who you have dreams about. And that's very controlling and weird in my opinion. And it also doesn't keep us safe if we are disclosing our identity to everyone. I've personally been groped at work. People who know I'm bisexual, they take that as an invitation to my body. They take it as an invitation that I am willing to sleep with anybody at any time for any reason. And it's like when people hear bisexuality, that gets rid of my consent, my ability to consent, my ability to find certain people attractive, my ability to not be in the mood, my ability to not be sexual all the time, my ability to be human, really. It's about keeping ourselves safe, and it's about learning who safe people are. what safety really looks like. I find it incredibly difficult a lot of times to form really strong bonds with a lot of gay men because, you know, biphobic jokes like, oh yeah, I could have her man or whatever, and like behind all of that is like, oh, he's secretly gay. Not that he's bisexual, not that he is in fact attracted to his girlfriend and also maybe attracted to you or maybe attracted to another guy, but no, he's secretly gay. He really wants men. These are jokes and comments that are all throughout a lot of gay male spaces. So because of that, it just makes me not want to form like strong bonds with these people. People who have really, really rigid ideas about gender expression and masculinity versus femininity, you know, mask for mask. And also a lot of feminine guys too, who do see themselves as less manly because they are feminine or less desirable, less worthy. These ideas, you know, they come from the larger society and then a lot of us internalize them. And so I'm not trying to like blame them necessarily because this is just like a symptom of the larger society, but I'm talking about keeping myself safe, right? I'm talking about not revealing a part of my experience, not putting myself in further danger, really, you know, and not sharing parts of myself. You really have to kind of like try to judge like, oh, well, would this person be supportive of me? Would this person, you know, out me to other people if I tell them this thing? So it's hard and you're not always gonna get it right. Sometimes you're gonna think, oh, somebody's gonna be super supportive, and then you tell them and then they're not, or then they out you, or then blah, blah, they sexually harass you. And then sometimes you're like, oh, like, nah, this person probably wouldn't be, and like, meanwhile, they might be bisexual themselves, or they might be one of the most supportive. So I just like recommend just being gentle with yourself and just being careful, trying to be safe, you know what I'm saying? I would really love to hear your thoughts, and I want to know how you know when someone is safe for you to disclose your identity to, and when you know somebody is not safe. Okay, I'll see you all later. Bye, babes.